Oh, hello, Gemini. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for joining me today. If Gemini is your sun, your moon, or your rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Gemini, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And the High Priestess is our first card. This is the intuition. This is the widening of the psychic aperture. This is the opening of the third eye. This is the waxing moon. Okay? I feel like you're somebody with a very deep connection to spirit. Okay? And especially lately, I think probably more so lately than ever before in your life, you feel that there is a message coming through for you. That your God, goddess, deity, your spirit guides, your ancestors, your guardian angels, whatever it is, needs you to hear something. Okay? I feel like you have an awareness that something very important, very major is going on in your life right now. And you may even have, usually in your life, I feel like you're a pretty rational person. I feel like you pretty much rely on empirical data, you rely on logic, things make sense to you, and you kind of see things in a sort of an orderly and causal way. The intuition here is something that is creative, it's something irrational, right? It's something that's more sort of right-brained than left-brained. And so it might be something difficult for you to decipher, okay? But I do feel that you have always had a rather close connection with spirit. I feel like there's something in your childhood that sort of started it all. I don't know if it was a maybe like a near-death experience or a severe illness when you were a kid, but something like really put you in touch with the divine energy. Yeah, and it's something that I think's been with you for your whole life, but maybe it kind of got pushed to the background in, over the course of your life. But lately, it's really been sort of coming on strong. Okay? Now, we're going to put this into some context and see what else might be going on here. Look at that Wheel of Fortune. Very, very nice. We've got a Knight of Pentacles looking at the future. We've got a Three of Swords in the background. We've got a Six of Wands. We've got the interesting Gemini, we've got the Sagittarius energy, the Art or Temperance card. Now, Sagittarius is your alternate sign. It's your opposite on the wheel of the zodiac. There's Gemini and there's Sagittarius, right? So this is really an interesting thing because I feel like it is sort of you embracing this unknown side of yourself. Maybe there are some sort of passions or interests or, there's this unconscious part of you, and I think that maybe is where this High Priestess energy is coming for you. It's like your own soul is trying to tell you something. Yeah, very interesting. Got the Hanged Man over here with the Two of Wands, Six of Cups, and Four of Pentacles. Very nice. I like that all of this energy here is kind of stabilizing with the Four of Pentacles at the end. I feel like that's kind of what the Knight of Pentacles is looking at, is that Four of Pentacles. Well, let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. And it's going to go right here with Alien, Simon, Mork, Ripley right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If you have a prediction, let's use this wide spiritual psychic aperture. Let's use this intuition and let's try to predict that mystery card. Let's do it together. Let's make it interactive. Let's make it a group exercise. All right. Let's look around at the cards we have here today. We've obviously have major, 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 and a major arcana over here. I think that the hanged man is a very important symbol for you right now, because it sort of is representing you going down into the depths of yourself, going down into this, what might be the Sagittarius energy, your sort of unconscious opposite sign energy, that hidden part of yourself, hidden desires, hidden goals, hidden wishes, and really kind of going fishing down in your own depths and coming up with something very meaningful. Okay, and maybe this is a time in your life where you're perhaps searching for a new sense of meaning, right? Maybe this is a big kind of transitional period in your life. There's some reason why right now for you is very significant. I don't know if there's a birthday or if there's an anniversary. I don't know if there's something else going on, but it feels like this is one of those moments in your life, and maybe you've had several, where there's something serious happening with you in terms, I don't know if in terms of your health or in terms of your maybe life, like passages, like rites of passage through life, big transitions in life, that always come with this kind of an increase of this psychic energy. It's kind of like, I don't know, you always start kind of seeing ghosts and spirits and angels whenever there's this significant kind of thing happening, right? These punctuations in life. I'm wondering about the mystery card being a Tower card now. I'm already kind of getting a feeler out there with that, with the Tower card. But anyway, we've got our major arcana. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune, and I think in a very simple way, the High Priestess is telling you that your life is getting better and better and better and better, that everything that is kind of a challenge to you right now is improving, that there is opportunity now for perhaps a new home or a new home environment, something going on in the home, in your domestic situation. It's going to make you very, very happy, okay? Something going on in the financial situation is going to be just, I think, stunning. I feel like there's also going to be an improvement or an expansion in terms of your family dynamic. The Two of Wands here in the position of the environment, this is kind of how you're relating to your family. It feels like, and it feels like that there's some sort of conflict, there's some clashing. Maybe you live with people, maybe it's just kind of, maybe it's in-laws, maybe it's sibling stuff. And I believe it's tied to the past, but it's also sort of something tied to the future. Okay. Anyway, we've got our major arcana energies. We've got fire. We've got water. Oh, we've got fire. Yeah, we've got our fire. We've got the water. We've got some air. And we've got our earth cards. Okay. We don't have a lot of air. The air we have is in the background. The air that we have is a sort of memory of something not very pleasant. Okay. I think this is something from your past, something to do with family, something even, maybe even kind of relating to that past sort of event that we talked about, that major injury or illness or something like that when you were a kid. That kind of opened up your aura to the other side, the spiritual dimension, if you will. But I don't know why this is a factor in your life now as part of a larger cycle. It could be that this is kind of an anniversary of something. It could be that maybe every year or I don't know what your cycles are, every 5 years, every 10 years, 7, 11 years, whatever these major things are. We could be talking about a Saturn return for you that recently took place, or this is kind of around the time that would be a Saturn return for you. But any number of these sort of planetary cycles or astrological cycles or karmic cycles, soul cycles, right? The energy in your life. Something's coming back around again, okay? And it's something that you already, it's here. Because it's connected with kind of it feels like an anniversary of something, honestly, okay? And that's kind of the nature of that air energy. But it is affecting your present relationships. It's kind of it may be something that happens, that happened a long time ago, but this is sort of the anniversary of it, right? And every year, it kind of around this time starts to feel that way again. And I think it really is kind of putting you in a not so good mood with certain people in your life. Okay. We can leave it at that. The Wheel of Fortune, though, is such a blessed energy. This is that Jupiter energy, very expansive. It's all about fame and fortune. It's all about profit and prosperity and abundance and just increase, right? It's just overflowing with this abundance in every realm of your life, right? And I think with the High Priestess here, Spirit is trying to tell, your own soul is trying to tell you that there is something very significant happening in your life, and it's related to one of these sort of unconscious things, sort of a repressed desire or a talent that you used to have that you never really expanded on, right? You never pursued it. There's something down in the depths of your soul that needs to be brought forth, and once you can do that, it's going to lead to such physical, financial prosperity for you, but I think mental, emotional, I think creative, I think everything is really benefiting from whatever you're sort of, whatever you're discovering about yourself right now. Okay? The Knight of Pentacles underneath everything is the card that is looking at the future. Okay? And what that means is that you're getting a clear vision of who you are, where you are, and what you're doing 5 or 10 years down the road. Future, kind of long-term goals here. And I think this picture is changing. Or not so much changing, but because it's underneath the surface, I feel like this is the sort of future that you used to always dream about, that you used to see, and now it's starting to kind of bubble up again. And in some ways, Spirit is telling you that, hey, remember that dream that you used to have? Remember that goal that you used to kind of want? Remember that life that you thought you would maybe one day have? Guess what? You can have it. Guess what? Now's the time for you to pursue that. Because see, this is the Six of Wands. This is the card of victory. Right? I think Spirit really is telling you to reevaluate your long-term plans here. Because there's something that you used to sort of dream about. There's a future that, like an alternate timeline that you used to have. And it kind of fell away. It's underneath the surface. It's down kind of unconscious energy now. Spirit's telling you to go down, grab this again, and bring it forward because you can achieve it. Six of Wands, victory. Achieving your goals. Right? Achieving your goals. This is Jupiter in Leo. This is that Jupiter energy, right? Just like this. The Wheel of Fortune is ruled by the planet Jupiter. So it's kind of telling you to start pursuing this other reality, this other timeline that you had. Okay? Because you can and will achieve that. And the Six of Wands is... it's a lot of success after a lot of struggle. Okay, so it kind of is saying that it's not going to be absolutely easy, that it's going to be worth it because it is a difficult thing. Okay, whatever this future is, you can achieve it. Yeah, but it's always a but. Moving forward, you have to embrace this art or temperance card. This is the Sagittarius energy, and it's kind of in a way saying that you've got to sort of like laser focus your sights. You've got to get that narrow focus going on, And really, we could be looking at it with the Two of Wands that kind of says that you can't hold two visions of the future in your mind at once. Okay, you can't have you can't give sort of you can't pursue two different timelines, so it's almost like we have to make a choice of where you're going to put all your effort. Are you going to kind of are you going to summon this past vision that you had, this future that you once wanted, or are you going to go the route you've been going? Either one's fine, I think, according to Spirit, but the idea here is that we can't have both. Okay, not to say that your not to say that we're kind of separating our goals here, that it's like it's either career or family. No, that's not really what I mean. Is you can only hold one image in your mind at a time. Now, this image has to be as complete as possible. But this was something that you already had, I think, as a kid, or from a young, or I don't know, from a long time ago. This is what you always thought that you could be, right? And it's like when we're a kid, we say, I want to be a firefighter, you know. This is like that. And it's kind of saying, return to that original dream that you had, that original vision you had for your life, because you can have it. And now's the time for you to pursue it. You've got the right alignment of energies right now to do that. You've got to remain balanced. You've got to be able to realize that this is you're kind of stepping into the pressure cooker here. I know every time we get the Art or Temperance card, I always kind of think like, well, this is like you're in a pressure cooker, right? You're in the kitchen, you're in the fire, in the foundry or whatever, and in the furnace. And it's true, because this is going to be a difficult thing for you to incorporate all the ingredients that go into. I mean, I think when you're a kid, right? When you're a kid, we really dream big when we're kids, don't we? I mean, we just want everything when we're a kid. I want to be an astronaut, superhero, celebrity, basketball star, and rocket scientist all at the same time, you know. We really do dream big when we're kids. And in order for you to fit all those things into this, we've got to sort of have a strategy. We've got to be able to, one, be very discerning, and to, be somewhat reasonable, right? We don't want to go to that extreme, but we can have everything we want. We might have to scale some things down a little bit. We might have to sort of kind of reconfigure how that's going to look. And it's going to be a challenge, but it is worth it. It's a challenge that you already have a sort of guarantee that you're going to succeed. The Spirit's already telling you, hey, you're going to win this. So go ahead and go do this difficult thing. Now, if we had some sort of guarantee before you start running a race, if someone was going to say, you're going to win the race, you're going to have to work your ass off, but you're going to win, I think we'd be more likely to do it, Okay, well, if I give it my best, then I will win. Then I will do it. I will succeed. Now, the thing about the Six of Wands, this isn't winning as in you're the champion and everybody else is a loser. Right? That's not what this card means. This card is a kind of a personal triumph. This is you achieving that which you set out to achieve. Okay? It's not you kind of pushing other people down so you can get ahead. Right? It's kind of the opposite of that. But if you were told that, hey, all of your efforts are going to result in success, I think you'd be more likely to kind of get into the pressure cooker, and start doing that work. All right. Now, we're going to talk about the path of the serpent, and as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost anything. It's good for the channel, and I appreciate that. So we've got the Hanged Man over here, along with the Two of Wands. I feel like you're kind of aware that somebody is trying to... I feel like someone in your life is sort of trying to take advantage of you, and maybe it kind of just feels that way because, again, there's this feeling that I have of like an anniversary of something that happened, or for some reason it's kind of it's back on your mind again, and it's making you really not like somebody in your life. It could be like a family member. It could be something that's going on with the parents or your siblings or something, and something reminded you of it. Either it's the time of year or whatever. And so we're kind of like, you're fighting with somebody. There's some sort of problem with someone in your life. And I think right now it's sort of difficult for you to let that go. And that's kind of what we see with the Hanged Man here, that we kind of don't want to let something go. In a way, Spirit's saying that you've got to kind of, this is something that's weighing you down. Okay? And part of your long-term goals here, I think, involve like having that sort of family, that sense of community, right? Having those good relationships, and that's the Six of Cups that we see here. So really, the way to get these, let's say these are the goals. The way to get these is to really kind of get past these. And I feel that this is really, the Hanged Man is almost a card that kind of says, sometimes we got to bite the bullet and just forgive. Sometimes it's a card of forgiveness, because it's kind of like we're in this suffering position, and it's like we're choosing to stay here. That's the thing about the Hanged Man card. However we got here, I don't know. But this is something that we can free ourselves from. That we can turn the card around, and now we're in this attitude of victory. We're in this posture of receiving the abundance rather than kind of just kind of still delaying or suffering, right? So I don't know how we got here. Not your fault. But we're here. And we've got to do whatever we need to do to free ourselves from this so that we can get this and, well, these two. That we can operate in this energy and we can get these goals, these results. Okay? We want the improvement in our relationships, our interpersonal relationships. We want improvement in our financial situation. We want to be rich and famous and well-liked and loved and, all these good things. Maybe literally, but, it's a little tongue-in-cheek. But I think Spirit, especially with the Wheel of Fortune, Spirit is saying that this is going to grow as big as you want it to. It's kind of like if you're in the kitchen and you're cooking something, right? It's kind of like you can keep putting ingredients in there if you want. You can just make it bigger and bigger and bigger. Spirit's just going to give you a bigger pot. Okay, I'm going to put more food in there. Well, I guess we need a bigger pot now. More food, more food. It can be as large as you want it to be. It can grow and expand out infinitely if you wish for it to. You've got to do the work to do that. And so if you're putting that effort into it, Spirit's going to keep kind of expanding the container for you, right? But there's some of this sort of, there's some of this conflict energy that's bleeding over into your relationships in the environment, right? Two of Wands in the position of the environment is conflict. I feel that you're kind of, for whatever reason, you're sort of at odds with the world right now, okay? And I feel like it has something to do with this, and maybe it's just that kind of that time of year, or it's that particular planetary return or spiritual cycle, karmic cycle, energetic cycle, whatever it is for you. But there is this sort of conflict. I feel like your interpersonal relationships aren't as groovy as they usually are. Okay, and some of that I think is in a lot of, well, because we have your opposite sign, right? The Sagittarius energy. And I think the Sagittarius energy is almost a selfishness. It's almost saying you've got to focus on you. You have these dreams and goals and aspirations, and you've got to do the work, and you've got to do it, right? It's about you. Me, right? But I think your kind of normal Gemini-style energy is kind of is more interpersonal, right? It's more, I think, in your daily kind of life, your normal energy, you're focused on networking and getting to know people and sharing, exchanging information and learning about people and really like forging those bonds with people, right? But maybe this is that part of the cycle for you where your inner Sagittarius energy kind of comes out and your interpersonal relationships suffer. So we kind of need to balance between focusing on other people and focusing on ourselves. Okay, so I think that your interpersonal stuff needs some attention. Yeah. Let's do an empowerment oracle card real quick here. So there's this idea of you concentrating your energy, keeping your ideas to yourself. So it really is kind of like you're just kind of, you got the blinders on. You're just kind of, you're keeping other people out, right? Because you're focusing on what you got to do to pursue this kind of sort of new path, you know. But if we go too much in the extreme, we're going to kind of damage our relationships. Okay. Here we have an empowerment card, the Wheel of Life. I accept responsibility for my life. I am not a victim, but a hero. I cultivate positive thoughts and empowering words which steer my actions to success. My tongue is the wheel of my life, and I am the driver. So with the Wheel of Fortune and, of course, the Wheel of Life, I think what we're really trying to do is have this sense of wholeness, to realize that we, as part of our vision of our future, our kind of superhero, childhood kind of dream of our future self, we want to have those loving, intimate relationships, but we also want to have fortune and fame and power and money, and we can have all of these things. We can have career and family. We can have a social life. We can have a lot of love and community in our lives. We can also have kind of personal ambition and focus. Okay, and I think that's what we've got here, especially with the Six of Cups. This is pleasure. This is the difficult thing for you. The difficult thing, I think, is for you to really to integrate your hardworking, ambitious energy with this sort of pleasure-seeking, relaxed, interpersonal, let's just hang out and watch YouTube kind of energy, right? Because I feel, especially with the Gemini card and with the Art or Temperance card and the Sagittarius energy, it feels like there's a border. It feels like there's a distinct line where it's just like personal ambition over here, and if I want to go to the other side, then I got to walk away from that personal ambition and I got to go over here. So I feel that's why maybe it feels like it comes in cycles. Because for a while you're very sort of intense and focused on your stuff, and then the wheel kind of turns, and then you're focused on just kind of having fun and bonding with people and meeting people and having these kind of interpersonal relationships, but then the work stuff sort of suffers. It feels like that, and I don't know exactly the details of your situation, but it feels something like that. I also am getting the idea that something's going on with an insurance company. I don't know why I feel that way, but there's something there, like you're dealing with something with I think it's insurance or a bank or something like that, right? Back to the Six of Cups, though. This is your sense of community, all right? This is your sense of really having a support system in your life, having a circle of friends, right? An inner circle of really intimate relationships, romantic, platonic, all of it, really feeling close to your people, feeling very close to your people. I'm seeing a flower, like a tattoo of a flower. I don't know if it's, what are those flowers that have like they look like the fingers that kind of come up like this, a chrysanthemum. Do you have a chrysanthemum tattoo or something like that? Because I see that kind of, those finger kind of petals on there. Sometimes I get these little details. I think they're more confirmations and validations of the energy that we're in. If they're not meant for you, don't worry about it. Leave them for the next person. Okay. The obstacle here, I think, right now is for you to move back into your sense of community. See, we've got that Two of Wands, which is kind of it's challenging, right? It's kind of like you're not really feeling people right now, but we got to move back into that. But it is something that you want, or well, let me rephrase that. It's something that you don't want right now, but it's something that you need. Okay, you've got to focus a little bit on your interpersonal relationships, but don't miss your opportunities that we have here to focus on these other sort of ambitions, these worldly ambitions, right? I see the Four of Pentacles really as you kind of almost finding a new home. I feel like part of your energy is really about finding that sort of permanent home, and maybe this is relocating to a new city, a state, a new country, finding your people, finding that sense of community in your sort of new environment, your forever home. right? Creating like a home base or a headquarters. Maybe this is you taking your small business and finally realizing like, I need an office, right? And so you're going to go actually like lease a building or something to have your sort of headquarters there. But I feel like this is really about you establishing yourself in such a way that it's okay for you to set down roots. It's okay for you to get to know your neighbors and your friends and to build up a sense of community because you're going to stay here, right? Because this is where you are going to be. Yeah. And so maybe part of this was kind of it's just an uncertainty that we sometimes feel that I don't plan on being here for that long, so I'm not going to get to know my neighbors. I'm not going to worry about making friends because I know I'm going to be gone in a year or two anyway. You know? I feel like that's changing. I feel like that's a big factor in what's changing for you. This kind of sense of permanent residency somewhere. Yeah. Let's take a look at the mystery card. Alien Simon Mork Ripley has been very patient. What could this be? Well, we've got Six of Wands, Six of Cups. Maybe we need a Six of Pentacles. Maybe really what we need is a Six of Swords, right? The beauty, the harmony, the kind of triumph in these relationships. I think we need some kind of swords cards here, all right? We'll get the conversation going again. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Let's see what we have. The Fool. Well, the Fool is air energy. But the Fool is kind of a lightness. The Fool is kind of letting go of this anchor. There's a certain transcendence. There's a lightness. There's a kind of anything goes kind of attitude, you know, kind of open and free. And this is also the card of the Wanderer, though, right? The wandering fool, the person that doesn't have a permanent home, the energy that doesn't really have a place to sleep. It's kind of wherever you lay your head is home, you know. Which contrasts what I just got through saying about you finding that sort of permanent residency. Okay? And so maybe this is a confirmation that you've kind of felt like you've been wandering a little bit. That maybe you've been feeling kind of like the wandering, questing fool that doesn't have a permanent base, doesn't have a kind of, doesn't have roots anywhere. Right? And we may be talking literally, but maybe it's kind of more metaphoric than that. This could really be, I think this is a confirmation in a lot of ways, because this is kind of you setting off on this new journey, right? Kind of beginning a new quest, which I kind of figured here. Maybe this is you beginning your new quest toward your forever home. Maybe this is the Fool realizing, I just got to pack up my essentials, whatever I can fit in my little knapsack here, and I'm going to go on this quest to find the forever home, to find my sort of permanent residence, you know, in life generally. So I feel this is a very good confirmation, and I feel like Spirit, I feel like this is the message coming from your guides right now, and they need you to hear this, that it's time for you to set off on this journey to find that place where you can settle down, put down roots, and get that sense of community. Establish that permanent base in your life. Yeah, time to settle down maybe. Anyway, we're going to do an extended reading too. If you want to stick around, there is a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Gemini are Mondays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. And it supports the channel. I appreciate that. Leave a comment for me as well. Let me know where in the world you are watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.